Hey guys, so I'm going to be showing you guys a certain code today for our project. I know it's been a while since we last, I guess, talked. But yeah, so we're going to be doing a scrolling type of game this time. And it's going to be similar to Flappy Bird, where you have a sprite. In this case, it's a hippo. This hippo is your character or your player, and it's going to be jumping up, and you want to, and these green bars are going to be moving to the left, and there's an empty space in between these two green bars that you're going to try to move in between. So the green bars are moving to the left. Your sprite can move up or down by clicking a certain key on the keyboard. So it's similar to the Flappy Bird game, and this is what we're going to be coding. So if we look at this closely, you have some, well, you have to start here. You have two sprites, a player to control a helicopter or a hippo, and one to avoid the gliding bars. And the gliding bars are things that you don't want to touch, just like Flappy Bird. So now we just want to talk about this code. So this is how you get the carrot. This is how you get the sprite to jump. If you click the space button, then it moves up by 20. You change the Y by 20, positive 20. That means the sprite is going to move up 20. You click space. So and this is still the code. This is all the code inside Hippo. And then when the green flag is clicked, you set the conditions, or you set the um, place that you want this character to be in. So in this case, it's going to start at x equals 0 and y equals 0, and you just set the size to wherever you want it to be. Then it waits a second, then it does a loop where it changes y by -2. And that means that this sprite is going to go down by -2 every time this loop runs. So this loop's going to keep on running forever, so it's called a forever loop, and it's going to keep on going down and down and down. So it's just going to be falling. Unless you press the space button in this code, and it will change the y by 20, so then it'll move up by 20, and then it'll move down, down, down. And then you want to make sure that if for this block of code, you want to have another forever loop, and you want to start this when you click the green flag, when you start the game, and you want to make sure, you want to check to see if your sprite is going to be touching the green color. Since you don't want this sprite to touch the green color, if it does, then you want to stop all programs that are happening in this code. You want to stop everything, which is basically what this stop all kind of does. So again, your forever loop, if it touches this green color, then this game ends, game over. That's it. So that's the code for the hippo. If we move over to the gliding bars, we have the code for when it starts. You want to first actually hide the gliding bars, and then have a loop of creating a clone. Clone might sound kind of weird in a coding environment, but it basically means what you think it means, where you make a copy of this sprite. So you make a copy of this gliding bars. So you copy it, then you have just the exact duplication of it. And then, so you're going to keep on doing that since it's a forever loop, you're going to keep on making clones every 5 seconds. And that might seem weird. Why would you want to have a clone of a gliding bar? Well, the reason is because you want these gliding bars to be moving to the left, and you don't want to code a lot of different gliding bars. You want to have just one gliding bar sprite that can have code for two different, or a lot of these different blocks. So how you do that? So when you start a clone, when you create a clone, this code is going to run. So it's going to pick a costume, and costume just means how the sprite is going to look like. In this case, I guess the costumes would make this space be in different locations. So this costume has a space in the middle, And this costume has a space at the top. And I guess there's another one that would have a space at the bottom. So it's going to pick a random costume. It's going to go to x equals 240, positive 240. So that just means it's going to go to the right side of the screen, and then it's going to glide to negative x equals negative 240, which is the right side of the screen. So in the beginning of the code, there's no blocks, okay, and you can't see anything except the hippo. Then you click the green flag. This sprite starts falling down unless you press the space button, and then you'll jump. And then the gliding block will create a clone. It'll wait 5 seconds, then create a clone. And then the clone will pick a costume. It can either be a costume with a hole in the middle, a costume with a hole in the top, or a costume with a hole in the bottom. Then you would set the location of that clone to be on the right side of the screen. You want to make sure you're showing it because in the beginning you hid the block, the bars, so you want to show it. Then you want this block to move to the right, move to the left. So that's moving closer to the hippo. And when it gets to its location, x equals negative 240, then you just want to delete this clone. And since a forever loop is running and it's doing this every 5 seconds, this will keep on happening every 5 seconds, just like Flappy Bird. Bars will keep on coming back to this location and gliding to this location every 5 seconds. So let me make a quick code for that. So I have my code, I have my just character, my sprite, and I want to have this one clicked. When I start the game, I just want to have, I'm going to say, well, first I want to set the position. Set the position to, I kind of like this position right here. So I'm going to do, this position. X equals negative 200, x equals negative 164, and y equals 36. I'm going to have that code. So it's always going to start at this location when I press the start button or press the green flag. Then I want this to fall. And if you remember from this worksheet, if you want it to fall, then you just have to change the y by -2. So I'm going to change this y by -2. See, that was positive 10. Now I want to do -2. So look, now it's falling. And I'm just going to pause this game real quick. So whenever I click this green flag, it's going to fall same place. Now I want to be able to jump, so I'm going to have events, go to events, do when space key is clicked, and I want to move up 20 because because it's going to fall. It's going to fall. See, this y is decreasing, and I want this y to increase by 20 every time I press the space bar. So I have the illusion of it jumping. So I do change y by, let's see, I'll do 20. So I'll do green flag, and then let me do 30. I'm just gonna play around with this code to see what works better. I could do 40. I think I might do 40 just because it looks a little better for me personally, but this is all just personal stuff. You can change these numbers however you want. If you want it to fall faster, you could do -5, and this will fall a lot faster. If you want it to fall slower, you can do -1, and it'll fall slower. But I'm just going to keep it at -2. So when I look back at this worksheet, so I have it falling and I can jump. Now I just want to make sure that this code is going to end if it touches the green color. Well, first, before I do that, let me add the gliding bars. Okay, so I assumed that it was going to be a sprite that already had this, but I'll just make a new one. I'll make a new sprite, and I'll have different costumes. Oops. I have different costumes, just like the other one. I'll just call this 3. I'll call this 1. I'll call this 2, just for simplicity. So I'm gonna have a block that kind of looks like this. I want kind of a big space. Yeah, I'll make this game easy. That's a big space. Yeah, let me just check to see if this my sprite is big enough. Yeah, it can. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Oops. I just want to make sure that my sprite can go through this space. So yeah, so now I have this sprite 2, and see, I can call it. I'll just call this gliding bars. So I don't want to tell you all the stuff in this code. I just want to give you just a little reference of what it should be looking like. Oops. So if I'm gonna have other costumes beside this one. You'd want to have other costumes in yours, but for me, I'm just gonna, for example, I'm just gonna show if you have one costume and how it's gonna look like. And I want to go to my code for my cat again. Now I'm going to do this code so I make sure the game ends when the cat, in my case, touches this purple bar. So let me do another, because I want to be checking to see if this cat is touching this purple color all the time. So even when the game first starts, I'm going to start checking. So I'm going to, when I start the game, when green flag is clicked, I'm going to make a forever loop, and I'm going to check. I'd use sensing, or I'll use a forever, I use an if statement. And I would stop everything. And in this one, I want the condition. So if something happens, and I want to go sensing, the blue ones be sensing, and since they have the same shape, I know that it will go inside this condition type place. So if it's touching a certain color, and I want to run the stop. I want to end this program if my cat is touching a purple color. So let's see if I can change this. I'll use the eye picker. And yeah, so if it touches purple, then stop the whole program. Okay, now I have my code for my cat. Let me check it. Yeah, looks fine. Looks good. Now I just want to do some code for the gliding bars. So if I look back at the worksheet again, because you always want to be looking at the worksheet to see if where you messed up or where you went wrong. So I want to I want to make a clone of this gliding bar every 5 seconds. So let me do that. Basically making a copy of this gliding bar every 5 seconds. and that's when I start the game. So when the green flag is clicked, I'll do a forever loop. I'll make a copy or make a clone, and I'll do that every 5 seconds. Okay. So I'm assuming that okay, so this one, they hid the gliding bars. So let me hide my gliding bar. I go to looks, go down, go to hide. I don't want the player to see the gliding bars until I let them. So I'm going to hide it. Then if I look back at this code, when I make a clone, so I'm making a clone, and when I make a clone, let me go to control. When I make a clone, I want this clone to be in a certain location. I want this clone to be, let's see, let's do the same thing as this other program did. I want the clone to be at 240. And yeah, so 240. I'll just leave the Y for now, just because I think it's good for my code. Then I want to show my code. I want to show, not show my code, I want to show the gliding bars. So I'm going to click to looks and do show. And then I want this gliding bar to glide or yeah, I'll say, what did they do? Let's see what they did. They did, yeah, for 8 seconds. So I'll say glide to negative 240, which is the end of the screen. And then I keep the Y the same as well. So if I just test this out, and let me delete this clone after it gets to the edge, because I don't want to see this clone after it moves all the way to the left edge. Start the right edge at 240, moves to the left edge at negative 240. Once it gets there, I want to delete it. So I'll go to control, scroll down, delete this clone. Let me see what that does. Okay. So I guess that was a good example. Let me see. So for mine, I recognize that I didn't leave a big enough space, so the game is too hard to play. So let me try to do this again. So right now it's waiting 5 seconds, and then it's going to create a clone. Yeah. And now it deletes, and then it's going to keep on creating clones. It's going to keep on doing this forever. So in yours, you would probably want to have different costumes. So there's different spots, there's different holes. The holes look different. Maybe there's a hole on the top, maybe there's a hole on the bottom. So in your code, you can do that. But yeah, I would recommend always look back at the worksheet to see what you can improve on, or what you should be doing, or what's not working in your code. But you can always change it and adapt your code so that you can make it as fun as you want to. Like for example, if I want to make this game a little more fun, I can add more sound, I can meow every time it jumps. Yeah, so every time it jumps, will say a meow. Yeah, you can do a lot of different things with your code. Feel free to just change it as you want, change it to what you want to be like, and I feel like that will really get your code to be what you want it to be and how great you want your code to be. So that's all I'm going to show you for now. That should be enough to guide you to what you want your code to look like. You can also add backdrops, the background. You can add different effects, make the code look as cool as you want it to be. Yeah, good luck on working with this. And if you have any questions, just talk to any of us. Okay, bye.